Hi everybody, Lisa here with today's Vera Bradley bag of the day. Today I broke out my Hadley East West Tote um, because I was wearing one of my dark gray coats, and I found that I really like the way this pattern looks against dark gray. It really pops beautifully against a nice rich dark gray. I mean, I'm sure there are lots of other colors that it would also look beautiful with. Um, but there's something about that combination that makes the bag just really highlights the vivid richness of the colors in this pattern. And so I was very excited to use it. I have a gray linen summer like sundress that I tend to wear this bag with a lot, and the weather hasn't been good enough to do that yet, and so I was excited when I realized, oh, I still sort of have that color in in a jacket. I forgot about that. And also, I thought it would be interesting because I just got in my stuff from the most recent online outlet sale, and I ordered the Hadley Tote in this in this pattern. And so I thought for people who might be interested in the difference between those two styles, that they might want to get a comparison look at them, I thought I would do that. They are both retired. I mean, everyone in the everyone in the focus group that I'm in, the Vera Bradley focus group, has been talking about the Hadley Tote. They usually, when the online outlet sales come, people sort of discover it for the first time or rediscover it. That has been recently retired, and they're sort of bemoaning this fact. And I do think that the East West Tote, I mean, I assume it's been retired. It doesn't seem to be coming out in the latest patterns, which I think is sort of unfortunate. I did like this line, especially because of its micro square quilting, which I think really improves this particular pattern. Flatters this particular pattern for some reason to me. And I do have, I pulled out my big Glenna Tote in this Superbloom as well, because this has the regular square quilting, not the micro square quilting. And so we can make a comparison, and people can see. I mean, I know not everybody prefers the micro square quilting, but I do think it really benefits this pattern in particular. I think it modernizes a lot of the fabrics. If people sometimes feel like Vera Bradley might look a little old-fashioned, or they have a mindset of Vera Bradley as looking a little dated or old-fashioned, I think that the different kind of quilting stitching really can modernize the product, which is why I'm always saying I wish they would consider more a variety and a little bit going a little different in their quilt stitch patterns. But anyway, first to the back. So I can measure this, and this is again Superbloom. It's really just such a beautiful summer kind of pattern there for the light to kick in. The rich blue in the background with all of these very rich colors, the deep hot pinks. There's no color, there's only one color on here that I'm really not crazy about. Look at that. That's good light. And that's this sort of it's almost like a cadmium yellow medium or something, if you are familiar with paint pigments. And I never liked that color straight out of the tube. Ugh. So I don't like that, and it doesn't seem to make up, too much of the pattern. So that at least there's that. But anyway, it's just such a beautiful, rich mix of colors there, and very tropical looking. I feel like yeah, this would be good in Key West or something. Very I don't know, it just makes me think of hibiscus. I don't know that these are hibiscus. These just seem very abstract, these flowers, but that's what it makes me think of. Big tropical flowers. And you can, I mean, it's a smaller bag, but I've still got a lot in here. I even have a sweatshirt in here, a hooded sweatshirt in here. The top opening is 15. It's got the pleather pull tab, but it's got a soft zipper, the soft plastic zipper. And what I'd like is that it doesn't have this. I mean, I don't. It's not a make or break thing for me. But you can see on the recessed zipper, there's on the Hadley Tote and on other totes, there's this sort of this flap for the zipper. This doesn't have that. It's just the quilting edge and then the zipper. And I like that. See, I got a bit of stuff in there. I'm even making use of the interior slip pockets, which is very unlike me. So the top was, what did I say, 15? God. Yeah. And the bottom is 10 on the long side and about 5.5. 5.5 this way, 10 that way. Top to bottom, about 10 or 11. And the strap drop, it's a shorter strap drop, I feel like. Yeah, it's about 10. So I can stand up and give people an idea of how it looks on. So it sits up kind of high, you know. It's at my waist. And this way, it's got a bit of width though that way, and angles out, you know, on the edges. Straps are comfortable. I'll measure the width of the straps, and it has this knot detail here. It's like the Hadley East West Tote, same styling, and attaching to a metal, you know, the metal hardware, this very like low loop of metal. This knot is sewn in place, so it won't open up. Someone did ask me that one time when we were talking about this tote bag. It does have a vertical hidden exterior zip pocket. Oh, I have tissues, napkins in there. It's very deep, goes all the way to here or across. It's very, and it's a big pocket. So that's also reminiscent of the Hadley Tote, right? The Hadley Tote has that also. Just that one. The other side has the folds of fabric. Oh, just the one fold of fabric, but it's just a decorative pleat, which I do like that. I like that little design element. It gives it a little interest, right? It keeps it from being just one boring piece of fabric. It's a little design tweak there. It's kind of a nice look at the fabric and the quilt stitching. I just love this color. This color here, that vibrant, like corally red, pink, luscious. Really, just. Okay, so and the strap width, because it is slightly different. It's narrower. It's a little bit narrower than the tote version. At least this Hadley Tote that I got on the online outlet sale, which I should mention that when I talk about this. These straps on this particular Superbloom Hadley Tote are different from the straps on the other Hadley Totes that I have. They're different in the width and where the stitching is. It's just a little frustrating, but anyway. So this strap is 1 inch. It's very comfortable, stays on my shoulder, and never have a problem with it. Like I have a problem with the Mandy straps. They never stay on my shoulder. But this I have no problem with, very comfortable. And, you know, short enough that you can just let the bag hang from your hand. It won't hit the ground. Or you can put it on your shoulder. Either way, it seems to work well. So in here, I don't have anything in the exterior pocket right now. In the slip pockets, I just have my iPad, my phone. So it's got the two on this wall of the bag. Just 2 pockets, slip pockets, and this one has an interior area for the charger with a grommet, which, you know, feed out through this exterior zipper, hidden zip pocket. There's the grommet. There. Then I got my wallet, iPad mini, GPS, and sweatshirt. I mean, I have a sweatshirt in there. And on the other wall of the bag is a zipper pocket. Goes down to the bottom of the bag. So it's a good depth. See if I put my iPad does stick out. This iPad mini, which is about 8 to 8.5 inches tall, and it does stick out, but it's in there quite far. But I couldn't zipper it. It won't fit the other way. And you can get a look at the lining. It's not cotton, right? But it's still pretty. Just a little blue with stripes with dashes in them. So that's the Hadley, and I will put them both on together, the Hadley and the Hadley Tote. Now the Hadley East West Tote and the Hadley Tote. So this is the regular Hadley Tote, also retired, like I was saying. But again, you can find a lot of Hadleys often in the online outlet sales or on Amazon. So it's still possible to get them. I've already talked a bit about the features, and the configuration is the same inside, with 1 zipper pocket on one wall of the bag, and then 2 small slip pockets on the other wall of the bag. I do think I can get my iPad mini all the way in this zipper pocket, though, in here. Yeah. So it's all the way in there, and I could zipper it up. So that's a good depth for an interior pocket. I'm just going to put my sweatshirt in here to give it a little body so that it stays up while I'm talking about it. So this technically is the front, just to give people a look at the pattern, right, because of the label. And at first, I wasn't that crazy about, you know, this section of the pattern when I got it. Obviously, I ordered in the online outlet sale, so I didn't have control over, you know, what section of the pattern I could get for pattern placement. And I thought, oh, this is just a lot of little bits of the smaller flowers, and it just seemed a lot of different scattered look, like a lot of the leaves part of the pattern, and that was kind of bugging me. But it's really grown on me. Now that I look at it more, I like all I'm getting to see all the variety and the different flowers. And then on the back, this was the side when I first saw this side, I just started drooling. This is what I wanted. These big pink, you know, tropical looking flowers. So I was thinking, well, this is the side I'll carry out probably more often than not, because I just love that. Just love it. And I really like the way oh, that's good color there. The quilting stitching just seems to flatter this fabric. I don't know. I just think it's very interesting when you compare it to the regular square quilting. And I know it was just me, but I really prefer, for this fabric, I prefer the micro square. No, it just looks more modern, makes the whole thing look more modern. And I've talked about how it also affects the feel of the fabric. Don't get me wrong, I mean, I like this. And I use it. Like I've said, I use my Glenna Totes because they're humongous. I use them for travel. This is probably the next one I'm going to use next time I travel. Because I haven't broken that one out in a while. And now I'm feeling I've got Superbloom on the brain. It's just such a luscious pattern. So let me put them, let me talk about this handle, that thing that I noticed though before I put them both on. I noticed that on my other Hadley Totes, the straps are just a little bit narrower, so that these two, the two edge seams there are a little bit closer together. So this central column in between the two seams is narrower. And if you listen, I don't know if it'll come across in the video. There's like a crinkling, like there's plastic in there, almost like diaper material or something in there, and it's slippery when I move my fingers around. But I noticed right away that there was a crinkly feel and a crinkly sound to this strap that none of my other Hadley Totes have, and I have three other Hadley Totes. I had four. I sold one. I had one in Santiago, which I sold. There's nothing wrong with it, and it had beautiful cotton lining, but I just didn't use it enough. And none of those had straps that like this. So I don't know whether something changed on their production line, or whether this is just like a defective one. I mean, it makes me think that in the next online outlet sale, if they're still offering this tote, I might get another one just to compare, and then, if it's exactly the same, I'll just return it. Or you can return stuff at the factory outlet. It's just always easy, so I always just drive over there. They're very good about that. Anyway, but it's not enough to make me, not want the bag. But it's just something I did notice, and it's kind of like, that doesn't feel quite right. They don't quite, they almost feel a little chintzier than the other Hadley Tote straps. Which maybe they changed their factory or something in the factory when they made this tote out of this particular fabric. I don't know. I mean, maybe this is like the last one they did or something. I don't know. Anyway. So let me get them both on. I guess I should throw some of this stuff back in here real quick. I can put this one in there to give some weight to both of the bags. Okay. Ooh, my light's weird. Ghost in the machine. Okay. Whoops. Get my act together. Okay, so this is the Hadley East West Tote. Being a little blown out by the light. And this is the Hadley Tote. So you can see, try to get the light a little softer so they don't blow out. Yeah, that's a little bit better. So this still, you can see that the East-West Tote still has a good width, width to it this way. It's not a dinky bag. God, that pattern looks so beautiful there. It's just gorgeous. And this one is a little bit lower. Actually, covers more of my body lengthwise. You can see here, you can still sort of see my butt. So this is a good camouflage. I'm not having a good butt day. Strap drop, I think, on the Hadley Tote is, I think it was 11. It's a little bit, just a touch longer. I put them together. Maybe that gives you an idea too of how they compare. So you can see that Hadley Tote, East West Tote is a bit smaller. But again, to reiterate, you know, I still got a lot in here. I mean, even that sweatshirt, got that sweatshirt in here. It's just a very pretty bag. I think you can carry it just hanging. So this was, oh my goodness, a ghost. Ghost in the machine. This was my Vera Bradley bag of the day, the Hadley East West Tote in Superbloom, retired pattern, but maybe able to still get it, and I don't know in this pattern or not, but get this style in some of the online outlet sales. I feel like it's still around if anybody is interested, and it's very comfortable, and I do like it very much. Anyway, that was it. Thanks for watching, and hopefully